similar deck, but it was targeted more towards health and beauty. As you guys have questions today, please feel free to reach out, ask questions. It's definitely more of a presentation or more of a discussion. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of just start off by looking at the current.
Oh, by the way, we're going to send you the slides, so you don't worry.
Yeah, Joe will send out the slides after the event, so you guys don't have to worry about taking a ton of pictures. What we're going to do is just kick off looking at some general overall trends in retail right now. So what we're seeing is we're obviously seeing some compression in the marketplace with some retailers that had to close location or change the formats of some of their stores. On that in the past, it's just the start. And then we're seeing really the biggest trend that's really going to be a huge player for private label is health and wellness. It's a big thing that's going on. It's overarching, and it's going to be something that all the retailers and manufacturers really need to pay attention to in the marketplace. So there's 5 overall trends that as a company are very much connected that we look at and kind of say that they're really the keys for retailers and manufacturers to touch on when they're trying to drive and grow their business in the marketplace. One is just staying connected with what's working in terms of, it says winning retailers. If you're a manufacturer, focus on those retailers that you do well at. If you're a retailer, work with those brands and those trends that are doing well, and also understand who your consumers are. And that leads us into really engage in digital retail. Consumers are out there now. We really need to understand where they're coming from, what they're looking for, and how they're interacting online. It's becoming a more important piece of the puzzle, especially as we continue to have more e-tailing growth and more e-tailing opportunities. So that kind of leads us into another step of we really have to drill down and understand and target our marketing efforts online as well as in the store, and really drive and really, as we say, win the occasion, get those dollars when you have that consumer in your store or in front of your product. And then the last one that kind of, just like I said, is overarching health and wellness. It's huge. It's not going anywhere. People are getting older. People are becoming unhealthy. Everyone's trying to stay away from the doctor because of the cost of health insurance and doctor's visits. When we look at the overall economy, GDP has increased about 1.9% in the fourth quarter. We've also seen and continue to see some differences, some greater changes or differences between our different economic groups out there. The rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. And then this is obviously a huge unknown because we don't know what's happening with health insurance, and that's going to be a huge piece. Positive is gas has been kind of in our favor recently. So people are perceiving that as they've got some more money in their pocket, they can go spend it a little bit differently, maybe splurge a little bit. And then when we just look at it, same store sales in retail, it's really becoming a game, and not even a game, but it's becoming a science for the retailers. So as manufacturers, you have to understand what your retailers are going through, and as retailers, you know the competition's stiff right now. When we look at total store gains over the past 52 weeks, dollar sales are up about 1.8%. Seems small, but it's that's better than where we've been over the past couple of years when we look at it. We also took interest rates up, so you have to decide, are we in economic recovery, or are we still kind of tiptoeing around and very vulnerable to go in one direction or another? We talked about new store openings, and then we also talked about competitive pressures that are out there. As I said, this is just going to become bigger and bigger, and you have more compression as some of the brick and mortar retailers have really realized this, and they've started picking up some e-com retailers or extending their reach into e-com. So we'll kind of just run through some of these. Like I said, we'll have the slides out there. One piece that we saw that I thought was a really interesting piece to take away from here is salty snacks have had a really nice growth rate recently because of the innovation that we've seen in the category. You've had some brands that not only have innovated their own products, but have innovated and brought in and created new categories with products, which is really key. And that's one way for retailers to grow and for even private label manufacturers to increase their opportunities with consumers and retailers. And as we talk about at the same time, we've also seen the center store kind of has some struggles. So as retailers and manufacturers, how can we work together to improve center store sales and really drive some of the consumer purchase. You guys will see a lot of these as we kind of go through here. When we look at the overall, like I said, overall trends, we've seen some deflation in the market, but we've also seen that in previous periods, value, dollar stores, for example, and C-stores have had some really nice growth rates. When we look at it compared to where we were a year ago, we've had some slowdown, but let's be honest, C-store really expanded very fast in the past couple of years. And the other piece that's really interesting is some of the niche formats. So some smaller retailers, we're starting to see health and wellness, some very focused retail is really making a nice little comeback that we had in. They kind of slowed when the recession came into place a little bit, and people were really trying to watch dollars a little bit more. So if we look at what's selling, we look at dollar losses and gains versus 4 years ago. So this is a little bit of a trend. Salty snacks, and then the other, you're going to see salty snacks, and you're going to see alcohol. Those are what's really doing well. You always see alcohol, you see the vices when the economy goes bad, but alcohol has done a really nice job of sustaining and keeping their growth. And the other thing that we've seen lately with the health and wellness trend has really been vegetables. So, and herbs, fresh produce. So as you're sitting here as manufacturers and retailers, you got to think about how can you capitalize on that opportunity. So when we look at average price trends, another non-surprise probably anyone in the room, those categories that are more commodity-based have seen a lot more fluctuations out there. You know, this is an interesting one to look at. We'll dive down a little bit further. But it tells the story of where we're at. Beauty care, pet care, and health care have been rising the most. Like I said, but we've had a lot of deflation with the other categories that are out there. However, when we look at dollar sales across all edible departments, grocery's out there. And when we say grocery, that's center store. So as we talk about how center store sales have slowed and they're struggling, they're still leading the pack. So that means that we have some opportunity here. There's, I think, an opportunity for some rebound. We look at the growth over the past couple of years and how much branded versus private label has come, or sorry, where all the growth has come from. We'll get to branded private label a little bit. This combined sales growth is $15.7 billion in 2012 for all the categories, with center store still leading, but however, produce in the past couple of years has really come on strong. This is an interesting one when we look at grocery over the rate over the past couple of years. The good thing is this dollars and units are pretty much in line. You always want to see that they're consistent and they're not crossing. We have a couple opportunities there, but for the most part, we've had some stalls with dollars, but units are still they're not stalling out, but they're also flat at the same time they are. Basically, the key takeaway we have to take on this is we're somewhat flat, and there's opportunity to keep driving sales. Just to put this in comparison so you understand what the rest of the stores are working with, healthcare is doing really well. But this is part of that trend. Consumers are trying to stay healthy, they're trying to stay out of the doctors, they're using their FSA money, they don't want to pay to go to the doctor, they're really trying to reduce healthcare costs. So right now we're going to look at fastest growing and top selling categories. We look at fastest growing in food stores, your traditional, let's say Viking and Giant Eagle, Kroger's of the world. I was personally taken aback by this. Refrigerated appetizers are doing really well. But these are refrigerated items, so that's once again the consumer going for something that they perceive to be a little bit healthier. So as a retailer, this is also an opportunity for a convenient meal or grab and go. So as a retailer, capitalizing the opportunities, you have like a whole meal set up here for you, liquid tea, liquid coffees, and the sushis of the world. So as a manufacturer, if you're bringing opportunities to your retailers, think about what's convenient. What can you get in front of the store that'll drive easy sales and quick sales for people that are at lunch or people that are making a quick trip to the store before going home. If we look at for drugstore categories, there's a couple interesting pieces on this, and just to keep kind of keeping in mind with this, is you'll see some items that are doing really well because they've got some placement in the drugstore may not have been there before. But cheese, ice cream, and wholesome snacks. So you have both ends of the spectrum there. Let's be healthy, but let's also get some ice cream. But this is another piece where a lot of the drugstores are really trying to compete with convenience stores. So if you're a manufacturer and you're trying to come up with a nice little offering for a drugstore because you haven't worked with them in the past, you're looking for an opportunity. Once again, think about convenience. Small package, front of store, coolers, and healthy. You can really drive some nice market basket builders, or drive some sales for your retailers with market basket builders. So we now kind of switch modes a little bit and go to top selling. The vegetables, the herbs, the cheese. So your perimeter categories. And then once again, we see salty snacks and alcohol. So salty snacks and alcohol have both been fastest growing and top selling. But if you look at most of these categories, with the exception of your frozen entrees, a lot of them are those perimeter categories. So how do you capitalize? Do you need to run cross promotions, or how do you take those categories and translate them maybe into some center store sales as well? If you're a retailer, if you're a manufacturer, how do you come to your retailers with the right product assortment to help them? One, address what's the current trends, and then two, maybe help them drive some of those center store sales where the margin maybe is a little bit better. So we also took another step back. We look at drug just so you guys can understand what's going on. Tobacco still is doing really well, but candy does really well, obviously, in drug, and then once again, alcohol. So there's a common theme. So if we take a little bit more of a dive down the road with the private label and we look at how the U.S. compares to some of the other countries out there, specifically like Europe, we were kind of able to look back on it. There's a lot to learn from some of those countries on how they approach private label, and now a lot of them look at it as a brand, and they nurture it like a brand. They advertise it, they promote it, they interact with their consumers as though they're a brand. A lot of consumers in those countries, and we'll touch on this for the U.S. later, their perceptions of private label are very similar to those perceptions that the U.S. has for very high quality brands. So as the U.S. and Canadian retailers, as we're trying to develop those brands, there's an opportunity is really engage with your consumers and really educate them and show them and demonstrate to them the quality of your products. Because you'll see that's one of the biggest takeaways from this is that if we can show consumers and prove to them that it's a level to a high brand, if the quality is level, that they'll really start to try it more and they'll use it more in the home for entertaining. So when we look at this slide a little bit here, this is just specifically focused on Europe and how they are. Share trends are similar to what occurred in the U.S. when private brand was experiencing strong growth, when we were reaching some issues, when we had some issues with recession and pricing for the U.S. So basically what we're trying to get across here is saying there's still an opportunity. We have not hit that plateau. And if retailers and manufacturers come together, we can really develop some great store brands to offer to the consumers. When we look at private brands across all the retail channels, supermarkets have the highest private brand share, but they've experienced some share losses. So part of this, we line this up against the economy again, once again. Consumers, as we've had a little bit of a reduction in gas prices and such, consumers are once again willing to spend, but they're taking that money and they're spending it on branded items or they're spending it outside the home. So how do we get them to come back into retail? How do we give them quality products that they want to spend and splurge on and see it as a splurge item in retail? So without question, we've seen the private brands obviously benefited from the recession, but we've also, and that also was at the same time we saw changes in commodity prices. And private brands took a nice little increase. And consumers were interested, everyone was trying to save money, but as we had some recovery in the economy, taken some steps back. And then when we compare private brand growth to branded growth, You'll see, like, once again, 2009, 2010, 2011, some really strong growth. And then when we came back into 2016, despite everything that was going on, we still had some really positive consumer sentiment. We've seen people backing off the brands. And part of this is also because retailers have changed some of their strategy out there. A lot of them have gone back to brands because they know that the consumers are willing to spend a little bit more, but the brands have also been able to give them some great innovation to work with. So that's one opportunity that we have as manufacturers is how can we innovate? How can we bring new products, new concepts, new flavors to your retailers? Just because you're a private brand does not mean that you need to just follow the leader. There is an opportunity to innovate. So when we compare, once again, if we look at growth, brands did $78 billion they contributed in additional growth, and private label to $25 billion, 3 to 1. And then the private brands had actually a share loss of almost 62% of the categories that they're in. So when we look at this, we'll look at it a little bit further. We're going to look at consumer sentiment, but why? Was it selection? Was it just reduced, like I said, reduced selection? Was it quality perceptions? Was it price perceptions? Was it promotions? There's a lot of things, a lot of factors that play with it. No surprise. Edibles obviously had higher brand share than we experience like in health and beauty. But at the same time, it also gives you more opportunity, but it also makes it a little bit more difficult because you're going to have more branded items that are going to just be entering the marketplace in these cases. And if we look at this is units, the good thing is we're pretty consistent here, which is what we want to see. You don't want to see one category that's way out of whack between dollar and unit share losses or gains. But it's also some commodity-driven categories that are at the top. So when we look at this, we talk about the perimeter of the store. Those are actually really, a lot of people don't think about it because you think about it being fresh. Those are actually some of the strongest private label share categories are out there. So how do you capitalize on that? The one piece that we kind of look at this, the way I look at it is, I think part of the reason that we're seeing some declines, a lot of people are kind of going more of these meal kits. If you think about a meal kit, meat, produce, bakery, seafood are in it. So how can retailers, manufacturers develop a product that can go in store that's private label and meet a convenience need at the same point? And it's probably fresher than what people are getting at home. But this is the greatest opportunity because this is where some of the greatest private brand development is already. So capitalize on that opportunity. Think about flavor profiles. Consumers want to eat fresh. They want to eat healthy. They think fresh and healthy go hand in hand. So that's your other opportunity. You're taking convenience, you're taking health and wellness, and you're using what you already have in terms of the built-in consumer. So even when we look at this a little bit further, the perimeter of the store, they're leading the growth in terms of dollars and units and share. This is a slide that's really of interest. We took the top 10 categories in grocery, and then we broke them, we winked them, and then we pulled in their private label share over the past 2 years. Milk, water, biggest ones out there, but those are also the biggest opportunities for retailers to take margin. The piece that I really thought was interesting is you don't see a ton of development actually though on salty snacks, where we talked about that was one of the fastest growing categories right now. It's also been one of the pieces where we had the most innovation. And then on candy, I think we kind of miss the boat sometimes on candy. Consumers, if you have the right item, at like a checkout, that's a small item, and you have some type of healthy statement on it, there's a real opportunity. I saw myself doing this the other day at a retailer. They had a small bag of bite-sized brownies at the counter, and it said it was organic, and I'm like, oh, it's better than maybe they're getting stick cheese, threw it in the cart. And you're like, it's because it's there, it's small. If it was private label at the same point, they did a great job. They got their basket builder, they tricked me on it. I didn't realize until after the fact, and I was like, okay, I fell to it. But these are all opportunities. Just because you don't need to, I guess the biggest thing that we hear from retailers is, with private brands, you don't have to be a leader or a follower, be a leader. You can bring innovation to the marketplace, bring sizes, bring branding opportunities, come in there as a partner to your retailer. So this is a the one thing I think everyone keeps hearing about, but it's one of the strongest trends out there, and like I keep alluding to, there's a lot of unknowns right now with where we're going with healthcare. No one knows. But we do know that as a nation and just worldwide, people are getting more unhealthier. Weights are increasing. There's more prevalence of cancer, heart issues, and other pieces out there. So a lot of people are really looking for the magic bullet, which doesn't exist. But they're looking for opportunities to be healthy, whether it's starting to move to more produce, health, like I talked about, meal kits, because they think everything's fresh in it. I mean, non-fried foods. But as you think about the categories you're in, think about the products that you work with or you see every day. How can you take your product, one, make it healthier, but two, really bring in that consumer that's looking to be healthier? There's 4 ways that we look at it. One, keep it simple, clean labeling. Consumers really want this. There's a bunch of, I'm sure you guys have all seen bloggers out there that like to talk about how certain companies use GMOs and all these other pieces out there. They use genetically or hydrogenated soybean oil, like just pieces like that. So consumers are becoming more savvy about what type of ingredients that they're consuming. 2, innovate. This is what we talked about. If it's a build, borrow, or steal, think about that. What are your options out there? Build, borrow, buy, on your innovation. There's options out there. You don't have to be a follower. Like we talked about, make it convenient, cost effective, and make it taste good. You can make it taste good, and you can make it easy for someone to grab. Think about like when you walk into, let's say, a Target. They've really learned how to put that little, and even Walmart does a great job with it now. The deli's right there, just your chickens are there. They put some side dishes up there. They are really catering to the working families, and they're giving them they give them options, and they're healthy options. And like we talked about, don't ignore the indulgence categories. Salty snacks are a great option, but candy, crackers, any category where there's a snacking opportunity, especially among groups like millennials, there's opportunity there for development. And those are actually some of the most underserved categories by private label. So as we talk about clean eating a little bit, like we talked about, we're getting older as a country, as a globe, so we need to really, that's why one main factor. And then people are looking for that magic bullet to keep them healthy, keep them young, and help them with their joints, help them with their just day-to-day activities. So they're looking to food. So as a manufacturer, how can you bring in items like chia seeds, hemp, flax, all those different natural items out there that are supposed to be healthy? There's opportunity with that. And then at the same time, as you bring those in, part of your role is you can't just throw it on the packaging. You have to educate your consumer, whether it's by end caps, if it's by doing sampling programs, if it's by e-tail or digital marketing. We've learned you have to educate your consumer so they can understand why they should buy your product. You can't just tell them they should buy it, it tastes good. Why does it work? How does it work? So this is interesting. 2/3 of global respondents, this is globe, they will pay more for items that meet their needs. So if you're private label, manufacturer, retailer, there's margin opportunities here. You don't necessarily always have to come in with the cheapest, lowest price item. And then this is together interesting. Consumers still don't think their needs are being met. So how are we missing it? We're not addressing, we're putting stuff out there, we're putting new items out there, new flavors, but we're still not meeting the needs of all the consumers. So this is just a slide that we have where we look at some of the characteristics that are out there. If we look at compounded annual growth rates, chia seeds, grass-fed, and the other one that's doing really well, and quinoa, so those whole grain, or the healthy grains. If we look at just the past 52 weeks, grain-free, so one hand they want grains, the other one hand they don't. Cruelty-free, but the grass-fed, you're looking for a lot of consumers that are really trying to make sure that what they are consuming in terms of meat and eggs are healthy and properly cared for. So we talked about this yesterday with health and beauty, but this is that whole chicken and the egg situation. Are we over-innovating, or are the consumers changing their demand? So we're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive into some of the demographics behind some of the categories, and just when we look at how different groups purchase. So You'll see that the lower income consumers have a higher share of wallet for private brands, but actually affluent families actually spend more relative to those because of just the way that the wallet's built and the amount that's in the wallet. So that being said, we're going to look at this and you're going to see that there's a lower share among different populations and some of the growing populations. So if you think about how income is usually distributed among those groups, we're going to look at it a little bit further. You're going to see that we're really missing the boat a little bit on the lower income consumer. But so as a retailer manufacturer, you almost have to have that good, better, best offering in the private label. Those retailers that have done a tiered offering are the ones that are doing really well and experiencing really nice growth with private label. And it's because they're able to provide a product to all the consumers that are in the store. So once again, we just looked at it. Lower store brand share among multicultural households is to the fact that they spend a little bit more on branded items, and it's because we're not meeting their needs. So there isn't, if you think about like Asians with flavor profiles, there's been a lot of Asian stuff, foods that have been out there in the past. It's obviously changing a little bit more. XOS, they just have a collection of Asian profile foods, curries, bows, those types of items out there, but there's a huge opportunity for it. And spicy foods. In the past, private label has really tried to stay kind of like, let's just bring in the masses and give the base. So if we look at how people perceive brands in private label, and we look at it over a 7-year period, the one thing I think is the best news on here is we're seeing that the consumers, the second from the right, see a higher quality, say in some cases, we're seeing, the percentage of them that say that the private label is a better deal or a better quality is increasing. So as we're putting items out there, people are seeing the increase or the improvement, or we're perceiving it, but we're still missing the boat. So we've got there, we're getting them on board, there's still room for improvement. And I think part of this is also because of what's the offerings and what's out there for them. The other key takeaway I thought was interesting on this, we keep talking about the recession piece, 2008, people really almost, I don't want to say it's a negative connotation, but people really thought differently about private label, and I think it's because a lot of them hadn't bought it, purchased it, or tried it yet. I had a friend that came to my house a couple years ago, got mad because there was a store brand cheese on his plate. He said, you know what, it's probably the exact same thing, and I paid $2 less for it. They buy store brand cheese now. Because you need to educate your consumers, because in the past, if you think about it, about how it used to be generic, that's not how it should be. There was, I think there is a mass retailer in the U.S. that's done a very good job of kind of almost fooling consumers into buying their item because they don't realize that they're buying private label. Which is one of the struggles I think you're going to see is a lot of times people don't even understand that they're buying private label or consuming it until after the fact. So we look at it and how people look at it and how they connect with items. The concern I would take away on this, the second from the bottom, they just don't know enough. People don't understand why they should buy it. We're not educating them, and you're not showing them that the quality is the same and that they're not compromising. So I think that's a great opportunity. We look at positives. This is really, across all income groups, we're pretty much right where the average is. We don't have anybody that over-indexes or under-indexes in terms of alternatives or how they look at private label. But however, if we start looking at the income levels a little bit deeper, and we look at their negative perceptions, we do have the lower income groups are the ones that are actually over-indexing in a couple pieces. So they're more likely to believe that have trouble finding the items. So there's a couple of reasons for this. One, they don't realize that they have private label in the store, that they're buying private label. Or two, retailers aren't offering the private label in those locations where the retailers are shopping, or where the consumers are shopping. So you hear about food deserts and how they go into some of these low-income parts of the country and maybe that the retailers have increased prices in these stores. So that's probably an option here too. But I think the key takeaway is there's an opportunity here if you can reach them and provide them with a product that they want, that you need to educate the consumer. when we talked about quality earlier, so there are groups, just tell them you're going to go with a money back guarantee if you're a retailer. Just basically standing behind your product is what they're looking for. And once again, I think part of it's assortment. We haven't provided some of the groups with maybe something that fits their flavor profile, but once again, it's standing behind the product. Give the consumer something that they're going to want, something that tastes good, and also stand behind the quality of the product. Greatest generation. They are the only ones that over-index on this piece. They always believe that a store brand should always have a store's name on it. It's just because they don't understand what they're buying. It's one of that whole piece where they're not really aware of what the brand is. But I think part of that is there's an opportunity for retailers to connect more with some of the brands that they're putting out there for consumers. This is a little bit concerning when we look across all racial groups. Millennials still have the biggest negative connotation of store brands. And that's one of our fastest growing groups. They're one of the groups that has some of the strongest spending power right now. So a lot of them can live at home. They're very picky about what they spend their money on. They like to travel. They like to try new things. And they like to have experiences rather than things. So how do we take the store brands that we have? How do we innovate to them, or how do we bring them flavors and bring them experiences versus product? So we kind of wrap it up. We look at some pieces. We did some studies, and we looked at, okay, when brands do really well, it's because they're innovating, they're bringing either new products or they're differentiating their product compared to others, and they have a really strong brand equity. Private labels done pretty well. In some cases, the ones that do well, it's because, brands are taking advantage of private label. Brands are capitalizing on the fact that private label is really not differentiating in some cases. They're not really capitalizing on their equity in some cases, in a lot of cases. People that know that they're buying private label have very high sensitivity. So that's, as a retailer or manufacturer, why you want to kind of take some of your brand and have a good, better, best. And maybe on your better and best, not branded as much as a private label, but really nurture like as a brand. And maybe your consumer is going to be less sensitive to your price on that. And then brands do really well when private label doesn't innovate, which honestly we haven't seen a lot of. Private label manufacturers, I can not say this enough, there's an opportunity for innovation. You don't have to follow the leader. So when we look at private brand retailers, and we look at what sets apart like the top 10 of them, they are very selective in what departments they choose to engage. They do the whole store. They don't just stick to healthcare, they don't just stick to perimeter, they don't just stick to food. They reach across all departments, and they do a really good job of kind of bringing them all together at the same time. They really are very aware, those retailers that talk about, they're aware of who their consumer is and how they shop their store and what's going to drive them. So that also goes with who their shoppers are. And then the other thing is they treat their brands, how they treat them and how they approach them. They treat them like a separate brand. It's not a private label, it's not a generic. So it kind of all rolls up into three major pillars for us. Is understand who your shopper is, be able to target them, be able to reach them, and make sure you're providing marketing that resonates with them. Operational excellence for retailers. Bring in manufacturers with high quality goods, a good selection of items. You don't necessarily have to always go for the lowest price piece. And as an organization, they have a commitment to it. As retailers, they're committed to driving the sales. They see it as a basket building opportunity. They see it as a way to extend their brand outside of just the store. So if you need to move into an online presence, which some retailers are really understanding that they have to, it's a very easy transition for them. So if we look at the do's and don'ts of what's going on, we have it broken down by retailers, manufacturers, and a lot of these are just overarching terms. You gotta watch your price gaps. We have to be proactive. In the end, it all kind of is we have to work together. It's a team effort. Retailers can't do it without having some quality manufacturers that are bringing them quality goods quality assortment. And manufacturers, you also need to work with your retailers. Work together on innovation ideas, thought processes, packaging, in-store displays, marketing opportunities, sampling, etc. So when we bring all of that, we kind of connect to those 5 themes that we talked about with, we need to understand who the consumer is, we need to get their dollar when they're engaging with our items. We need to focus, target our marketing, whether it's in store. There's a certain retailer out there that likes to remind me when I walk into the store that I'm on their Wi-Fi network and then push me coupons, which I've used. So they've really determined on that what their digital. So they've intertwined their digital and their brick and mortar marketing. And in the end, just take advantage of the health and wellness piece that's going out there. It's not going away. We talked to the health or the beauty and health group yesterday about maybe there's a cross promotion opportunity there. They're really struggling in some of those categories to really find their share. So think about how we can look at what people are buying. How can we say if you spend $10 here, $10 here, we'll give you $5 back if you're a retailer. As a manufacturer, think about how you can maybe co-brand on an item. So there's a lot of opportunities. Think about innovation, but I think the overarching trend that we can all think about is the health and wellness piece, because it's really not changing as we have all these changes in how we're going to be covered and what options are out there for individuals. If you guys have any questions, we can take those now.